Our vision is a world without hunger, and because farmers and ranchers are producing enough food to ensure that everybody should have adequate access to food, accessibility is the driver for our work. We combine research with public policy and public service, and it's all animated by our Christian faith perspective. Food insecurity means that you don't have enough food to live an active, healthy lifestyle. In the United States, we have about 35 million Americans that are identified as food insecure. Globally, we have well over 1 billion people. It's the result of other broken social systems. You have to solve for some of these other issues when you want to drive for food security. In rural communities, you don't have a grocery store, you don't have healthcare access, you don't have nonprofit organizations. They don't have access to a charitable food infrastructure. So what we did is we partnered with USDA and we recruited 4,000 children from 20 school districts in East and West Texas to participate in a 10-week demonstration project for kids who are on the free and reduced lunch program. So we mailed a week's worth of food directly to the front porches of these 4,000 children in the summer of 2019. By the end of the summer, we'd served about 500,000 meals and snacks to the children participating in the program. Going into 2020, COVID-19, I received a phone call from the USDA Secretary's office. Well, they had a plan to address food insecurity in urban and suburban America, they didn't have a plan for rural America. And so they asked us to scale that program nationwide. It literally took seaplanes and boats and barges to get food boxes to kids. The kids at the bottom of the Grand Canyon in the Havasu tribal community received food boxes via mule teams. And then it was UPS drivers dropping food boxes off everywhere else. So we ended up serving 270,000 children in 43 states plus Puerto Rico. It was everyone bringing their best to bear. When we think about it from a faith lens, and we think about Jesus feeding the 5,000, and the disciples say, send everybody away. We are in a deserted place so that they can fend for themselves. And we are certainly in a deserted place in our nation where we are politically polarized. It seems to be that whenever we're in these deserted places, that's when God chooses to move. And so certainly we are able to see how God chose to move through all these different organizations working in collaboration. When you have a command to feed the hungry, when you think about Matthew 25, the criterion for judgment was whether or not we provided food for the hungry, or welcomed the stranger, or visited the sick, or visited those who are in prison. We have to do this to be faithful as Christians. Now, all major religious traditions speak to this issue, so it's not just about Christianity. In Hinduism, they say to give food is to give life. That's part of what it means to be faithful. People who are animated by their faith understand that this is something that we're called to do with our lives.